Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we are reviewing Taylor Swift's brand new album, Midnights, which literally it just came out. So I'm pretty excited and hopeful that this video will do well because of that. Um, it's it's good, but I don't think it's great or anything. It's good. So this is the track listing. I'm gonna review, in addition to the standard edition, the 3 a.m. edition, um, because I wanted to. And then these are the tracks I added to my playlist: 9 from the standard edition and 2 from the extra 3 a.m. stuff, which is a total of 11 out of 20. But obviously heavily in favor of the standard edition, is only 2 from the out of the extra. What is that? 7 from the 3 a.m. The album itself is all right. The only problem is a lot of the songs all sound like pretty similar. And not only that, uh, the songs sound like songs that she wrote previously. Like this is like a weird redo of a bunch of old songs. At least that's how it sounds. The album overall is like a weird combo of 1989 and like the Folklore Evermore stuff, which are both albums. All of those albums have the least amount of range for her. So there's really only like 2 or 3 songs on this album, so it gets pretty boring quickly. But I mean, the 2 or 3 songs that she does write are still pretty good, so it's still good. But you know, it's boring. So there's no singles um, off of this album like Ahead of Time, which you probably know. But my favorite song here, I probably got to go with Karma. I think it's the most interesting song, but I mean, it's not. It's only like a little bit more interesting than most of the other ones. It's just got a little bit more changed, like sort of new. All of the songs on this album are like old songs that she wrote, but with like a little bit of extra stuff, like a little bit different, just like a tiny bit, but not enough to be like new songs. So I rank this sort of fourth out of all of her albums, just under 1989 and over Folklore and Evermore. It's really just this whole album is really just different, like a redo of 1989 for me. It's still pretty good, but it doesn't do anything super crazy good. Like I still like it more than the majority of her albums because I like pop music and this is what this is. And I enjoy pop music from the 2010s, early 2010s. Um, Even if it's boring, it's still like kind of good, and I still kind of like it more than some of her other albums. But like this album doesn't really do anything new for her. I had a big choice here um, in regards to whether this was my new favorite album from 2022. Um, but ultimately, I decided to keep Imagine Dragons Mercury Act 2 up there, but it's only by a hair. Um, I think in general, Midnight's has better songs than Mercury Act 2, but Mercury Act 2 has a little bit more variety, but they're pretty close because they both suffer from the same problem where a lot of the songs are just the same as other songs, but slightly different. This is super close, and I would not be surprised if in the future I reconsidered this, but I almost never change these things after the fact, even if I'm thinking differently. Um, so this is probably not going to change, but this is very close because both of these albums are kind of like not they're good but not amazing. I haven't heard an album from this year that's been really, really amazing yet. So we'll see if that changes in the future. Next up, we will continue Taylor Swift with a review of both Red and her re-recording because the original album hit its 10-year anniversary today. Well, no, yesterday, because this is coming out on the 23rd of October, and it hits its anniversary is on the 22nd of October. So I figured this would be a great time to review the album, which is my favorite of hers. So, stay tuned for that and stay minty.